Yep, here we go, part 4. We about to get all kind of fancy with old Scully. That's right. We are getting diamond pleat seats, fancy wood grain steering wheel. We're going to be painting all the tubing black for the framework. We're even going to put on a 48 volt to 12 volt converter so we can run our lights and stuff. I'll explain all that to you. All this is going to be pretty simple, straightforward, just pulling out a bunch of bolts, stripping Scully. All right, let's get this roof off of here. I'm going to eliminate these seat backs because we're going to make some kind of cart back here, but the only thing holding this thing up, since half of this back end is gone, was the roof. Let's get some more out of the way. Other thing, this seat sits up too straight. I'm going to see what I can do about leaning it back a little. All right. Let's see if we can get this out. Come on. You boogerhead. Oh, man, she looks kind of like a rat rod. I kind of like this look. What do y'all think? Put it right down in the comments. I want to know. Man, that's kind of a cool, laid-back look, ain't it? Oh, yeah. Y'all be sure you subscribe. Welcome to T-Bone After Hours. I'm T-Bone. Something's always broke around here. I'm tearing something up. You never know. Wee doggy. Oh, yeah. I sure hope I can remember how all this goes back together. Guess I can always look at the footage. As old as this cart is, I'm surprised all those bolts came out as easy as it did till I got to this. I'm not going to have a back seat anyhow. We're going to make a little truck bed on the back, so let's cut these bad boys off. My disc wasn't quite long enough to reach all the way to the bottom, just using a little 4.5 inch grinder. Well, I'm gonna have to move the tractor stuff. I got a paint in the back tractor shed. Y'all ain't gonna be able to see much. So let's do something more fun. Let's put on this fancy steering wheel. I ain't never done one of these before. We're gonna find out. There's one part. Oof. Y'all know what that is. Somebody found a home in there, didn't they? Well, don't appear nobody's home. There's some in there. I think they can still sting you even if they're dead. Ah! I got a better idea. I think that'll work. Perfect. Dang it. Better save that. Not gonna be easy. That's okay. Get my condenser out. Little air crawl, spray down in there. And my old hammeroid. I mean, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Come out of there. Oh, it'll be easy, they said. Yeah, just pop it right off, pop it right on. Sure. Yeah, they might be talking about a newer one, not this old thing. It's coming off. I got a cutting torch and stuff, y'all. You know that. I'm gonna let this marinate. I'm gonna throw it on the grill. Let me get the painting. Come on. Stupid steering wheel. Well, I'm done asking. You coming off. You hear me? Well, none of my pullers, I got nothing to grip right here. This is an old automotive steering wheel puller. What I'm gonna do is lay this up here. I'm gonna drill a couple of holes, put some long bolts with some flat washers back there. We'll see what'll happen then. It's gonna come off. I'm gonna break it off. Messing me, next step's cutting torch. It's coming off. That's just perfect. It ain't even close to sitting straight. Come on, you stupid steering wheel. Golly. What am I gonna do now? Get a torch? Sawzall? I don't know. I ain't never. I'm watching that plastic, boy. I'm bending the crap out of that. You mullywomper. Hit you, mo thingamabobber. Dadgum, get off of there. Come off of there. Stupid thing. Now, I done let this marinate. Usually this stuff right here works miracles. Aerocrol, however you say it. It's good stuff. Plastic is all bending on the steering wheel and it's getting it crooked. Oh! Finally! Can y'all believe that? Now, just for added fun, you can see the hex shape on the steering wheel adapter. This is the one that comes with the steering wheel. That is splined. And it won't work. I ordered a new adapter. So the old battery setup that was in here, it had 6 8-volt batteries, which made it to 48. Since we went over to this lithium iron battery, it's a full 48. There's no voltage reducer in here to run, you know, stuff. If you put a stereo in to run your headlights, taillights. So what they did, they put this in series across 2 8-volt batteries, meaning 16 volts, which is fine. It's not going to blow anything up. So just to show you what's going to happen, we're going to install a voltage reducer, which is this Hitchimo. I'll put a link to it right down in the description for you. Now, basically, I'm going to hook this up to my jumper box for the lawnmower shop, and we should have headlights. Now, I did this a few weeks ago. I had headlights, taillights. Now I got one stupid taillight and no doggone headlights. Ugh. Let me figure that out. Well, I know I'm getting used to it. There's a fuse panel up behind the dash, but what I'm going to do, go ahead and hook this up, and it's basically simple. The red and black wires go to the 48-volt battery, and this is your output of 12 volts. Pretty simple. Let me wire that in, and we'll get a little further. I worked out pretty good. I got it wired up. Right now, I got the battery disconnected because I did a couple of other things off camera. The headlights, all I did was reached up under the fender over there and jiggle. Everything started working. Nice. Let me show you what's going on down here. So I mounted the voltage reduction Hitchimo thing box. I still got a zip tie and clean all them wires up. I got that all put in. It's got fuse, inline fuse going in, inline fuse going out. Now, I wanted some way you could charge your phone or whatever. So we got a cigarette lighter adapter and USBs, but the problem was when I hooked it into the fuse block, it stays on with a little blue light all the time. I'm like, no, that's not going to work. I want to be able to cut it off. So I drilled a hole and removed that ugly sticker and put me a toggle switch, and that way I can cut it on and off. Let me show you the other part. Inside behind the dash, and there was only 2 screws to pull that out, but all this down here was factory stuff, and this is all 12 volt. The back end back here, there's flat blade terminals. They're all grounds. And then this is my power wire, that USB, and I just added a fuse to fire up this side of the fuse block. And then all I'm doing is with my ground wire here, it's going to go into one side of the switch, and then coming out of the switch is going back to this ground back here. And that way I'm basically cutting the ground wire with the toggle switch. So instead of naming this thing Scully, I should have named it Rusty Bolts. No, Rusty Nuts. All the things are spinning except a couple of these going to come out. The rest of them I'm going to cut off. It's getting more good or fun, y'all. It's all right. It's what happens when you work with old stuff sometime. We'll fix There we go. That's one. There's two. I know I'm jumping around. This morning I had to back this out so I get some mowers in there fixed. We are also Rayleigh's Small Engines, as seen on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe. I went to back this thing out. I just stuck the steering wheel on here, and as I went to turn it, it was like, oop. I turn it, and it was grabbing. I'm gonna show you something. Remember, I had to hammer this thing to get this steering wheel off. I'm gonna show you something. If this happens to you, what to do to fix it the easy way. I took this whole thing apart and pulled the whole steering column out. I thought I broke the shaft or bent the shaft. Let me show you what happened. What had happened when I was hammering on that thing with the puller, the center shaft, I had knocked it down further into this U-joint that goes into the rack and pinion. And what it was doing was catching the other side of this knuckle over there every time I turned. So if this happens to you, just loosen the bolt right here. If you can see it, just loosen that bolt a little bit, take your pry bar and push that shaft back up inside there and then tighten it back down. Simple as that. Well, back to the seat. Got my steering wheel piece in. I got some new hitchy-mo's for the seat and these little doodabbers. So like I said, these little doodabber hitchy-mo stab in the wood things, they were all rusted up. But the problem is the wood on the other side, I know is ate out and I don't think they're gonna grab. So I'm gonna probably end up having to take this other cover off and flip the wood over. I don't know, I'm not an upholstery guy. Great. What did I get myself? That's what's left of a 1/4-20 bolt. Golly. Wee! Ow! Ow! Look there. Come out of there. It's stuck. Well, let's see if I can get this loose without completely destroying it. Now keep in mind, if you got a newer car, probably want to do this. This seat cover is meant to slide right over your existing cover. It's got like elastic and straps and stuff. I don't know, something. So I'm gonna try, see if I can flip this around. That's been on there for how long? Great. Ooh, look, this hole, I tell you those things were wore out. Great day. Well, since this side is mo gooder, I should be able to just hammer them in this side. Let me get this done and we'll go pop it on. So as I was hammering these in, a couple of them bopped out. Most of them stayed put. Just to be safe, I got some black RTV and I'm gonna put that around there and let that dry. Cause I gotta go find some doggone bolts. Cause all the bolts are rusted and I didn't order none. Think I got some though. Well, the way these seat covers come, they're elastic. You should be able to slip them right over and not have to do everything I'm doing. While that RTV is drying, I know that's not the right way to do it, but it's what I got. How am I gonna get this little thing on that big seat? I don't know. We'll go find out. I might should have laid it out in the sun or something, huh? Let's see how this works out. Ah, come on. Come on. Come on. What? Does this actually fit? Fits tight. Ah. Is it pretty yet? Getting there. I have to work on it a little bit. What? Look at there. Not too bad for a slip-on. I've never done a slip-on before. Normally I got them kinds that you staple and all that stuff. And then supposedly we just stick that in there. And I don't know how this works. How does that go? Okay, so I took it back apart and I've been fooling with it and stretched around. Took that black piece off. I'm gonna try and put it on top, but I figured out you go through here, if you can see, and then go through here and it bites. I'm a dummy. I don't know how this stuff works, man. And then tighten that bad boy down. Yeah. Maybe this will look more gooder. And if the black thing will fit back up on top. I don't know. All right, for now, I'm just going to flip these right up under here so they're not hanging out. And I'm curious if, is that going to fit over that? What? Huh, that's going to look factory, y'all. I got a little bit of a gap right there. Let me work on it a little more. We're going to get it right. Stick around. All right, let's see if we can get these brackets on. I think these go with these to the outside. I even painted the bolt heads. Can you believe that? And I took the thread chaser and chased the threads just so hopefully they'll go right on in. We're gonna see. And I know I'm gonna scratch it with the ratchet when I tighten them up, but you know what? This thing's made to look good from across the parking lot, all right? You get up close, it ain't no detail job. It's gonna be more gooder. I ain't even scratched it. What you think about that, y'all? Let's go put it on. Great, day to pollen. You know, this is Pine Tree City around here. Tell you what. So, now let's get this bad boy bolted in place. Y'all can't, hey, I can see you over there. Well, hopefully that's dried enough that it ain't gonna fall out. Well, the vinyl's still sitting over there. I think I'm gonna try this without using the vinyl. This should be going something like that, hopefully. And then of course, you know, all the screws that broke. So I went digging through my bolt bin and stuff. This cover is, I thought had slits. Yeah, right there. And that's for the hinge plate thingy that goes on. That goes here and here. So this needs to go that way. Great. Hey, this is going to be fun to stretch this out, y'all. Whee! So the seat hinge kit I bought came with the bolts and nuts and stuff, but it's metric. And those nut things, wood nut grabber Ichimos, they're 1/4 standard. So I had to go find some bolts. Went digging in my bolt bin. Yeah, this is about to get extra mo gooder funner. I am sure it's going to be a bit of a challenge, but we're going to do the best we can. Take our time with it. See what we can do. I think these are supposed to hook in through there like that. Yeah, sure it is. Ah! It's going to be tight. Oh yeah. Now we're talking, getting somewhere. All right. Now, come on. Holy nose. I don't know, y'all. I think part of the problem, it doesn't want to slide on this. As good as it. Y'all couldn't hear me with my mic, could you? I was laying down on the job. I know, I'm laying on my mic every time I turn around. Great day. All right. If I can ever get it on there, it'll be pretty. Okay, goodness. It doesn't help that I got arthritis in my hands either. Oh, finally. Whew. We're getting closer. Well, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start these straps and put some tension on them and flip it over and keep working this around. And I may lay it out in the sun tomorrow, but anyhow, if you can't tell, I only have time to film for like an hour or two at night after I close the shop, and then have to work around lawnmowers or whatever else I've had in here, you know. So it is what it is. We're gonna get it there. You watch. All right, now that it's a little tighter, let's flip it over. Oh boy. Got little wrinkles right there. Hope this one's not as bad. Hopefully I can get that worked out. I'm just gonna keep stretching this thing back. Give me a little bit. So I pulled it off these hooks and got it up under on both sides, and then kept working it, and it's getting a lot better. We're getting there. This thing must be sewn good because this got a lot of tension on it. There's a little bit of bumps right there. It's not bad. It might settle on out in the sun. I want to see what it looks like on a cart. All right, let's see. Oh man. Boy, I tell you what, I like it. I'm gonna still work to see if I can get these wrinkles out. Maybe I gotta put some more foam. These corners probably worn anyway. Who knows? I don't know. It's an old cart. Thing's 25 years old. Riding the style now. That's what I'm talking about. I'm gonna get the steering wheel on it now. Okay, still gotta get my handles put back on, so that shouldn't be a big deal. All right, so here's my plan. I'm gonna pull this steering wheel off, and then what we're gonna do, I'm gonna take my adapter and I'm gonna line these screws straight up and down, and then I'm gonna just start a couple of screws on here and go drive it. That way I can make sure my doggone steering wheel's straight before I put the cover and the nut, and I don't want to have to get the puller back out. That's for dang sure. Man, that's cool. Now that I got it all straight, went and drove it, steering wheel looks straight, going straight, let's put the center cap on. All right, let's go ahead and get our nuts started on here. Now that we got it where we want it, tighten this bad boy down. All right. And they send you a couple extra screws in the pack, I guess just for that reason. Now, let's see if I can line this up. Oh, wait a minute. You can tell this is my first time doing one of these. Let's see, kind of sit their logo up there. Wish I had me a T-Bone After Hours sticker or a Rayleigh's small engine sticker that would be there. That would be cool. Look at her. All right. Now let's see if I can start these screws without dropping half of them. Can y'all see what I'm doing? I can't. Ooh, I think we in business here, y'all. Now I'm gonna tighten them by hand so that this thing here strip them out. Now back to the seat. Screw these handles on, put the seat back on, then we're gonna put some rails in the roof. Well, I had to go digging through the bolt bin again. Find me some more screws. But, you know, at least I found some. Ran them down with a screw gun. Now I'm going to do these by hand to get them tight. The little clips that we RTV'd on the other side of this plywood did good. It's good. Again, this isn't a show car. Like I said, it looks good from across the parking lot. I think it's kind of cool. Still ain't happy with these wrinkles over here, but it's gonna be fine. Let's put some railings on this bad boy on the roof. Y'all ain't gonna believe what I'm about to do. Start polishing some aluminum. This is some purple polish that I got, made in California. I've had this old bottle for a long time. And the top's even dried up. We used to use this to polish the aluminum wheels on the tractor trailers. And boy, it brings it back to life. Just gonna take a while. Now you can see why I taped it up, so I don't have to get all the black off. Look how much better that looks. Dull side, shiny side. And my fingers hurt. I'll start a little bit on this in here too. Yep. Go redneck it right, y'all. Oh yeah, this should be fun. At least it's not heavy. That's good. This thing needs a back bumper. Let's make one. That'll be perfect. Leftover piece of tubing from a building. All right, so we're on the same page. The golf cart will be here. Basically what I'm doing is cut this out, and we're just gonna fold this down to the end, weld it all up, grind it, make it all pretty, and paint it black. And I just gotta do the other side. Whee! Anytime you're welding or messing with galvanized, get you a torch and melt that galvanizing off, because that gas off of that galvanizing is poisonous and it will kill you. Oh yeah. That's gonna look kind of cool, ain't it? Huh? Let's get the other side done. All right, so I'll cipher on how to get this doggone bumper up here. How am I gonna mount that thing? Well, I'm gonna cut holes in the back here for it to slide up on there. And I'm like, well, how am I gonna get a nut in there? Well, I tell you how. I'm gonna tap these bad boys here out and just run me a bolt in there. And they already had holes. I didn't even have to drill a hole. Can you believe that? Getting closer, closer and closer. I think the doggone paint's still wet. Will it fit? Would you look at there? Oh yeah, here we go. I know this is still wet. Scully's finished. Before I show you around, I'm gonna show you everything around. Boy, this thing looks cool. You ain't gonna believe what I bought. I bought the cheapest, ugliest golf cart you've ever seen. Look at this thing. The front wheels didn't even turn. One of them broke loose as we was dragging it on the trailer. The other one's still locked up. But it was cheap. It is electric. You can't hardly see up under here, but the CV axle boots are busted. Brake lines are cut. It is electric. It is electric. And the guy said that someone had left it at one of his rental properties, and just look at the junk. Unbelievable. Didn't even come with a seat. It's got seat backs, seat belts. Looks like it's got turn signals and stuff. Just weird. So this will be showing up on T-Bone After Hours for too long. Well, I was going to make a windshield with some plexiglass I had, but it was just terrible looking. So I ordered a new tinted window for this thing. Oh, antlers turned out good. Kind of need to do something with that club car and the little sticker down there, but y'all check it out. She turned out pretty nice. I'm pretty proud of it. It turned out really good. Even that aluminum, you can't really tell on camera, but it's nice and shiny. The seat corners finally settled on down some. Looks a lot better. And I may end up making a tailgate for this thing or something. I don't know. We'll see. Bumper turned out nice. Pretty happy with it. So don't be scared to take on a project yourself. Pretty easy. Took a few weeks. Thanks for tuning in to T-Bone After Hours. I'm T-Bone. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you don't mind, click that subscribe button. Maybe give us a thumbs up. Share our videos with your friends. There's always something broke around here, y'all. Or I'm tearing something up. We'll see you soon.